I just love YouTube studio tours. I mean, there's something so great about somebody taking you into their space and then talking about, the things they picked, why they picked them, how they like to use them. I love it so much. I love nerding out on that kind of thing. So today's my turn to take you on a tour of my little recording and editing workspace. And before we dive straight in, I just want you to know that even though it's a lot of stuff, it took me about 3 years to collect all of it. I don't consider myself to be a YouTuber. I don't consider myself to be, taking this whole YouTube thing serious, but I am a person who enjoys recording videos and I like to get gradually better at doing this. A lot of my process in growing my production quality, just getting better, has been the gear, of course. And even though, people always say the gear does not matter, unfortunately, the gear does matter. Having good gear, having a good setup makes you feel confident. It makes you ready to just hit record and shoot. And I think I've reached this point for myself. I'm quite pleased with what I have, even though there's always room for improvement. And, enough yapping. Let's just dive straight in. Welcome. Well, let's dive straight into this mess. This is what I see, roughly. The window would be closed, but that's my point where I'm always sitting at the table. And let's just start with a little overview here. So we're in my little attic. There's a window here, which of course I close. And then there's a second window there, which of course I also close. And what you see here is this sound paneling board, which I just pop up against the window. This helps me kill some of the reflections coming off of this glass. Now obviously I'll close this down and then that'll make it nice and dark. Obviously I'll close the other one up as well to control the lighting completely. And then next thing you must be wondering about is, okay, so what is the lighting that you use down here? So I think my biggest and best light, and also in all likeliness, the best upgrade that I've done to my whole studio setup is this thing here. And that is the Amaran 100D, which is like a budget light from Aperture. And this is the Light Dome SE on it, together with this crate. So you must be wondering why this crate? Well, this crate kind of channels the light just onto me where I'm sitting. And this controls the washing out of the light. So it's like a tight cone just going there. It's not like spreading all over the place. And then this thing right here is my fill light, which is just an LED panel from UPO or Jupio or whatever you call it. And you can control the light temperature on it. It's quite bright. See down, it's tuned down quite a lot. And then I diffuse it with this thing, which is like an old piece of curtain that I found. So the Amaran is doing the heavy lifting. This one is giving me a bit of fill. And then in the background, you cannot be a YouTuber without owning some of these like Edison bulbs. It is obligatory. I'm sorry, guys. And I just got those in a local, design store, furniture store. And they're pretty cool. And I like them because they give a nice and warm tint. Usually when I'm recording, I switch off the monitor so it doesn't spill any light. It's just a little desk light here. But then this thing right here and that one right there, this is how I get a really nice orange and tealy vibe to create a kind of a color contrast in the background. And these are the Pixel G1S RGB video lights. And they are fantastic. These are really good lights. I mean, they're not cheap, but they are very high quality. They're quite strong. And these are really an upgrade to my setup down here. Now, next thing I'd like to talk about is all of this acoustic stuff down here. If you're gonna watch my build video of how I built this attic, let me just try to get like a better overview for you guys. You'll see that I had a lot of problems trying to sound treat this room. It's like a triangle-shaped, big-ass attic. And I was always having loads and loads of trouble with reverb. It sounded like a cathedral in here, which is not good. And then I got this sound paneling. This is 4-inch, I think, 8 centimeters from T Acoustic. And I put those big ones every time straight above me. and then to my left and to my right of where I'm sitting. And I'm having two sitting spaces here. One is just sitting at my talking head table. The other one's down there sitting at my desk. And then you will see straight above that, I also have the big foam. To the left of it, big foam, at the right of big foam. And then in between, this was just to save money. I think this is a 1-inch foam to help me with the sound treatment of this place. And it looks like shit. I'm sorry, excuse my French. But it really helps me control the reverb here in this room. And then behind my desk setup there, this again is from T Acoustic. This is sound panels. This is from Styrofoam. And it also really helps me control the sound, and also it looks kind of cool. Right. Next thing you're probably wondering is, okay, what camera are you using? When you're looking down there, you can see my camera setup. This is a Fujifilm X-T3, and on the Fujifilm X-T3 we have the Viltrox 33mm f1.4, which I really like. It's the 33mm is like a 50mm on the full frame, and it really gives me a good talking head compromise between a wide shot and also not distorting my face too much. Then in front of that, we have the DeskView D3 teleprompter, so I can just put my phone up on there, and then this is going to project the text that I have on here. I don't always use a teleprompter, but sometimes I do. And on the front of my lens, I have a variable ND filter. So this is from JJC. And what this helps me do is when you look at my scene from down here, I want to be very nicely lit. So this aperture light dome is really quite bright. It's super bright because I want to be the brightest thing in the scene. But then these lights down there, which I'm going to try to make blurry while using a shallow depth of field, so a wide aperture. I want this part of the scene to be less bright compared to me sitting down there very bright. But if I want to have a wide aperture on this thing, so if I want to go f1.4, and this is super bright, so it overpowers these lights, so these look dimmer in comparison, I need something to allow my camera to still shoot me at f1.4 without being completely washed out like here. So the way I do this is by using the variable ND on front of it, and then I can just use the ND, tone it down, and this way it still looks good. Cool. Well, let's move on to Mike's microphone. This here is my main microphone. This is the Russian Octava MK12, and this is a pencil condenser microphone. And what this pencil condenser microphone does is it doesn't really pick up a lot of background noise. So it's really good at helping me control the sound in the space here. And this microphone is positioned about a hand's breadth from my face. So it's straight above my face, it's pointing down, and it's about this much ahead of my mouth and this far away from my mouth, and it's just out of frame. So this here must be the frame, and then it's just out of frame. And I really like this microphone. It works great. It's routed by an XLR cable behind that paneling, comes down through the floor, and then it enters my Focusrite Solo. So this is a really nice preamp, really clean. It has phantom power. And then this here is my second microphone. This is what I use when I do like editing videos when I'm sitting at my workstation. And this is the Rode Pod Mic. But the problem with the Rode Pod Mic is it doesn't really have a very strong signal. So what I need to do is I need to run it through a cloud lifter, which also ends up here in my Focusrite Solo. Now, sound-wise, I have these KRK Classics KRK Classic 5. They have a really flat sound profile. I don't know if you can see it from the back here, but you can manage. This is the level, so you can make it super flat, so you have a true sound of what you're actually hearing. And these flat monitors, I really like them. They sound really good. And the good thing about these monitors is also their monitor stands that they're on. So these monitors, if I'm sitting right here, this is like a triangle, equal distance, and my ears are just about here-ish. And the thing I noticed is when I first put them on these stands, like wow, like a world opened up. All of a sudden, my stereo sound was so good. It was night and day, really. Like sound snobs will tell you like, oh yeah, you need to like really position your monitors. They used to be just there first. But as soon as I put them on these monitor stands, guys, it was night and day. Like if you can buy, like this costs like maybe 20 euros for one of these stands, do it. It is so good. The alternative, here's my Sony, what are they again? XH, whatever. These are like the Sony sound cancelling headphones that everybody has and everybody uses. I don't really enjoy wearing headphones all that much. I don't enjoy editing with headphones. I just want to have like the full sound in the space. And then these KRK Classics are really, really good. What else is on my desk here? This is just like a generic card reader. You can do like CF cards, SD cards, micro SD, which is really nice, really useful. And then I have a bunch of Samsung T5s to edit from. Really compact, really good SSDs. And then this dongle is to read the SD from my Atomos Ninja 5. So I record through this Atomos Ninja 5 here. It's a very, very famous studio monitor / recorder. And then I record onto this SSD, straight onto this SSD. I can just pop it out, pop it into my computer, and it is ready to go. So this is really, really great monitor. It does loads of things like focus peaking, also, come on, false color. So false color can help you with your exposure and all that kind of thing. Really, really great monitor / recorder. And this has been a game changer for me, really great. The tripod I'm using here is the Velbon PH368 tripod. It's a budget version, it's really good. And then what I also have here is the Peak Design travel tripod, aluminum version. This is usually when I'm mobile, but I use it as like a secondary tripod. And then on the floor, you will see that I have marked loads of positions, like where's my table? Where's my tripod? Same thing there. Where's my table? So if I move anything at all and know where I can put it back, so it's in the exact same place again, perfect place again. Now, let's talk about the computer real quick. So this is my editing rig, and this is, I built it in 2019. It's an AMD Ryzen 9 3900X 12-core computer with 32 gigs of RAM, and it has a GeForce RTX 2060 in there, and it still does everything I need it to do. It still manages 4K just fine. It's perfect. I just ordered a MacBook Pro 14-inch, the base model, to be mobile, but as my workstation, this is just fine. And then this monitor is really, really nice editing monitor. It's 27-inch, 4K, 60 Hertz, I think. BenQ PD 2700V. And then to my left here, it's just like a little rack. It's more decoration than anything else, but on there, like I have like my GoPro, selfie stick, some lenses, my dead cat. But let's not get too distracted here. I think that's most of it. This is where I'm editing. Usually, this is where I'm doing my talking head, talking into that camera
right there. And chair, I have the fanciest of editing chairs. This is a simple IKEA kitchen chair. That's it. So let me know if you have any questions.
Now, before I even got to the point where I could start setting up all of this stuff, I needed to change this attic from this bare bones, bare bricks, cobweb-filled late 1930s hellhole into the attic space that I'm sitting in right now. I haven't filmed all of it, but I do have a video on the building process of getting to this point, and if you would like to watch that, you can continue on to that video by just simply clicking right here. Well, that's it for today, guys. I hope you found some inspiration. Remember to give me a like, and I'll see you in the next video.